Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are installing an LED light bar on my Jeep. I'm not a big fan, but I feel like this bumper needs one, and we got one from LASFIT, so let's check it out. And this is what the packaging looks like. This is kind of what the LED bar is. It's a single row, 12-inch, and this is perfect for the bumper. So let's go ahead and take it out. I already opened it, so I'm missing some sponges that hold it in place, but this is what you can expect. Check that out. I really like the single row, how thin it is, how small it is. It's really nice. LASFIT actually sent this out over to us to test out, so we're gonna test it out at night today and see how bright this is compared to my regular LED lights on the projectors. So let's go ahead and install this. We have to take out the brackets and assemble those first. So the brackets come in these smaller boxes, and something to note is that it actually comes with two separate brackets, so you can either do a side mount or a bottom mount, and I'll show you what that looks like. So for the bottom mount, the piece will be attached to the back like that, so you can mount it in the middle if you need to. If you're gonna do a side mount, it has the threaded holes, and you put these on the side right there. It's actually really nice that they included both of them just to make sure that it fits on your setup. And for our application, we'll do the side brackets because I think that'll fit best on this bumper. I actually forgot to mention, but I did get a discount code for you guys. If you guys want to pick up one of these light bars, you get 10% off. Use Najar 10 at checkout and you'll get 10% off, and I'll have it linked down below. So this bumper already has some tabs here for the lights, and it included some round lights, but they're halogen ones. They're not bright. So with this LED bar, it'll replace it. It'll look sleek right there, and it'll honestly be way brighter than the halogen. So let's assemble the brackets and let's get it on. Oh, and it actually has two different holes, so you can put it closer to the bottom or lift it up a little bit. I think I'm gonna use the top hole. So we're gonna put the lock washer, the regular washer, and then put it through the bracket. I'm gonna put this round piece of the bracket towards the back. I think that'll look the best, and I honestly think that's how it should go. So I'm just gonna make these hand tight for now so we can adjust it when we place it on here. Okay, so actually this light, it's not gonna work, and it looks really small on there. It is small. So this is a 12-inch light. If you do get the 12-inch light, you want to have, let's see, you're gonna want to have the mounts about 12 3/4 apart, and I don't, so this is not gonna work for me. Luckily for us, we have a 20-inch light bar here as well, and we're actually gonna mount this one in place. I think this one looks way better too. It looks like it fits in this area a lot better. So let's go ahead and put the mounts on here. We're actually gonna use the ones that go around the edge here instead of the side ones, and I think that'll look great. So in the kit you do get everything that you need, all the hardware. So I'm going to take the round piece, and it comes with these rubber pads as well. One side has like grip on it, the other side is flat. I'm not sure what side goes where, but I'm going to put the grip side down. It is what it is. Next we're going to take the bolt, put it through, and it does catch in the middle right there, and then use the washer, the lock washer, and the nut that's supplied on the bottom. Pretty simple, just like any other light bar. Next we're taking our Capri tools and we're going to tighten this up. I do recommend you still hold it down with an open wrench on the top, just so that the bracket doesn't move. Now I want you guys to see something really cool on this bracket. You see how the bracket has these grooves right here? So the piece that goes onto the light bar right here, it actually has grooves as well, so it'll be facing here and it'll lock into place, so it won't twist up and down or get loose. It actually locks into place and it won't move. So you're gonna take the small nuts, and on the back of the light bar there's an opening on one side. Stick both nuts in there and it just slides in place. Next step is get your screw ready. So put the lock washer on there, then the washer. The little block goes in between the bracket and the light bar, so put a screw in, put that little block on first, and then put it onto the light bar. Now we're just going to screw that in, and we'll adjust the angle in a little bit. Let's just get this all set in place. All right, so that's all set. Now I'm just gonna angle it for now. We will adjust it later once it's nighttime. That way we can get the right angle. Oh, something else to note, the wiring. This is actually in the wrong place, so I'm gonna flip the light bar the other way so I can have the wiring closer to the battery. It'll just go straight into there. So I'll go ahead and do that. All right, so there it is. That is what it looks like. I think the bigger light bar actually looks way better. Since this is a homemade bumper, whoever welded the mounts, it's a little bit off, so the light bar is kind of at an angle, as you can see right here. It's a little bit off, but I don't think that's a big deal. And since I do have it the other way around, these tabs stick out a little bit, but not too bad. Anyways, this is ready to go. This is tight, it's not going anywhere. So next we're gonna do the wire harness. We got this wire harness from LASFIT as well. It plugs and plays It has the buttons here. I'm not gonna use the button. I'm gonna connect it to my aux beam switch panel, so that'll be a nice setup. Let's go ahead and run this wire. I'm gonna shoot it down through here. It's gonna come out like through the bottom of the grill, and it should be nice and clean. So in the wire harness, you get a side for the battery, positive and negative, and then it goes down to a switch here, which you run inside the vehicle, which I'm not going to use because I have the aux beam. Down here you can actually connect the light bar, so it'll be easy, just plug and play. And you could shorten these wires if you really wanted to. I'm just going to connect it as this for now. Alright, so we have it here. I'm going to go ahead and connect it in. Alright, and we're just going to pull it back up. We're going to add a zip tie to the wire right here, just so it's a little bit more hidden. Now we are left with this big bundle of wiring, which is why I recommend you cut it and shorten it up, solder it, and then add some heat shrink, or create your own wire harness. If you guys want to learn how to make your own, go check out Flyride. He just posted a video on how to make a custom wire harness. All right, so like I said, we're going to cut these off right here. We don't need these pieces. Eventually I will make my own custom harness. I'm going to do that soon for the rear light and show you guys how to do that, because having all this extra wire you don't need. And honestly, I don't need the relay or the switch because it's all controlled by the aux beam. So I'll show you that in a later video. But for now, just to get it going and so you guys can see how bright these are, we are gonna do it this way. It has numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and that corresponds to what button it is on the switch panel. I think we're gonna put it on 2 instead, since that has a 20 amp fuse. I think that's too much anyways, but 20 amps should be fine. And the reason we are not going to do the wire harness, like, we don't need the fuse. There's already a fuse in here. We would have to switch it out to a 15 amp, but for now we're going to put it on this 20 amp. And on the lid it tells you which side is positive and negative. Makes it easy. Positive is in. So there we are connected. We can now close this little lid up, and we're going to clean up the rest of the wiring so you don't see it as much. So now we have it all cleaned up. I just stuffed all the wires right here. We're gonna leave the switch on since the aux beam is what controls if it gets power or not. So let's go ahead and test it. Jesus, you can see how bright that thing is. Check it out. We're gonna test it out later tonight, get an accurate representation of how bright that light bar is. But as of now, this thing looks freaking bright, dude. It definitely looks way brighter than my headlights. And I honestly think the 20-inch fit this perfectly. The 12-inch would have been way too small. All right, we're gonna do another test so you guys can see how bright it is. I'm gonna zoom into this blue car right here. Right now the light bar is off, and let me go turn it on. Check it out, we got some new stickers. These are camo, and we also got some blue ones. They are pretty sick, and I always give these out whenever you guys place an order on my website, najaroffroad.com. I always give out a sticker. Or at least I try to. It's freaking cold right now. I have a long sleeve and then my sweater on. Do you guys want to see some hoodies and long sleeves on the website? I can bring those to the website as well. So now that it's ready to go, we're gonna wait till it gets dark and then test it out. I'm pretty sure this thing's gonna be super freaking bright. So we will see in about an hour or so. Alright guys, so I adjusted the camera to the settings kind of like what I can see in person. So this is pretty much what I see. I do have a tinted windshield, so that'll affect it a little bit. So that's regular lights, it's high beams. And then when I turn on the light bar, it's way brighter, and it actually goes further. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but let me see if I can get it over here so you can actually see that hill over there. And then when I turn it off, you can't. You see it? And that's with my high beams on right there. So this is low beams, and then with the light bar, it goes pretty far. Like that hill back there, I can see it in person. Again, light bar, that's my high beams on right there, and then light bar, way brighter. For the light bar being 20 inches, that honestly is really freaking bright. I can't imagine what the 50-inch will do. We'll try to get one for Chris's Jeep and test that one out, but I am really happy with this light bar. Now I'm gonna be completely honest with this review. So it's been a couple days now that I've had it. I turned it on here and there at night just to see, you know, how bright it is. And honestly, for it being a 20-inch light bar, this is actually really bright. Compared to my LED bulbs in my projectors, even the high beams, I thought my lights were pretty bright. And putting that light bar on made me realize that they're not bright at all. Now the light bar itself actually points light out way further than my headlights, so this is actually really good for off-roading if you go at night. And it's only the 20-inch. I can't imagine what the 50-inch would be like. The only problem with the 50-inch that I see is that it's not curved, it's just a straight row. But we might try to get the 50-inch and see how bright that one is. I'm pretty sure it'd be super bright compared to this one, and it'll fan out more as well. This one fans out more than the stock headlights, so I like that, but it also goes far as well. and it's super bright. I would honestly recommend it. Now on the wire harness part, if you don't have any experience making wire harnesses, I suggest just buying one instead of making your own. I am going to make my own just because I don't like all the wiring that's in the engine bay right now. And the fact that I already have the aux beam switch panel, I don't need all that wiring. I don't need that switch. I don't need the relay. So that's why I'm gonna change mine up. But if you don't know how to do any of that, just buy the wire harness. And if you're gonna buy the light bar, just use Najar 10, save some money, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.